Hello everyone, this is me Aryan, and in this our new video we are going to learn something new. I have created many playlists such as that of Arduino projects, app development, my making of my own website, and many more things you can watch on my YouTube channel as well. So that's really very great. So it's like you can visit my YouTube channel, you can see the playlist which I have created. Like Okay, so then RK app development, making my games are tutorials, my project. But I found like something is missing. Like if we see from today's day, it is Python which is dominating the whole thing. Like Python is very user friendly, or very not very. It is outstanding for machine learning due to which many people also learn it. So like let's see Python ranking 2021. So Python, as you can see, its rank is 1. So that is why it is really very popular language. So I was thinking why not I will make a playlist for you as well so that you can learn Python. And I'm also learning Python, if you can see, like Python programming, Python Junior. Here OS and Shuttle, like I had also created a data sorter machine learning game, like not game exactly, but yes, Python is really wonderful for machine learning, and that's why I thought to make a tutorial one after one. So today is our first tutorial about Python. So let's start what exactly Python is. So Python, let's just search for Python. Welcome to python.org. So first of all, when we see Python, what does we first thing which comes to our mind is the Python logo, as you can see here as well on this part of the screen. Like let's also see the logo as well. So this is how exactly Python looks like. So it's just like two Pythons wrapped around each other, and it is really very easy as well because if you see, it is a very high level language, and higher the level easier it is for humans to interpret it. And like if you see the low level language, then it comes to binary language, which is toughest, and computer understands only that language. So that is why Python is very easy, because it is high level general purpose programming language. So one can understand it easily. As you can see, is it hard to learn Python? Python is widely considered one of the easiest programming language. As well as that, it is a wonderful language for machine learning as well. So let's start with downloading Python for a computer. Like there are two options. I already have Visual Studio Code because I keep on using it for many of my projects as well. So, okay, so here I'll close this. So this is Visual Studio Code, as you can see, and I have downloaded some extensions as well. So one is for Arduino, C or C++, Jupyter. I don't require this Jupyter Keymap, Jupyter, so and so. However, like I keep on using those. I have also downloaded Pylance and Python as well. These two are for using Python. Or the other thing what one can do if he does not want to download Visual Studio Code is to download Python Idle, or which is Python 3.9, which is the latest version, 64-bit version. So that's the latest one with good stability compared to previous versions. But yes, if you want highest stability, then you can download Python 3.7.4. That's the best one. However, if we see both the things, both look pretty similar, but like I will open both of them one by one. Okay, it is launching. So this is how it looks exactly. I don't want like that. So this is how it exactly looks. So this is why, like this, when we see idle, it is bit old type, and it looks very old type. So this is why I popularly use Visual Studio Code instead of that. But Visual Studio Code takes lots of storage, so it's better to use Python shell. So let's quickly learn how to download it. So that's not a very great thing. Python download. So just you have to type those keywords, not keywords, like, and this is okay. So this is the latest version. 3.1.0. I am having 3.9, so I will upgrade it for later. But however, this is very great, very good. Like 3.9 is also very good, so you can download it as well. So first of all, as Python 3.10 is available, you may download it. It is the latest one. Like from this link, python.org/download slash. You can download it. Then what happens? You have downloaded the setup file. After opening the setup file in your downloads folder, you can like this is the screen recorder file, which I don't need. And after downloading the like what we say, okay, so after downloading the setup file, what happens is that one can just 1 minute. Okay, so after downloading the setup file in the downloads folder, you can quickly go there. You can set up there. You have to agree to some permissions. They are not very big permissions, just some basic permissions, and then it's good going. This is why it is very good. And then your Python is downloaded. You can start coding there. This is the Python shell. This is the idle Python for writing code such as A is equal to 10. Enter. B is equal to 17. Enter. Print A plus B 27. So this is basically how it works. So very like not that great, but okay, in this video we will be using this one, or like it is a better option to download Visual Studio Code. So it's optional, as I've shown you previously in this video only, how to download Python by simply writing python.download and going to download Python. The other way is to download Visual Studio Code. Download, please download it from the original website, because what the problem is that if you don't download it from original website, you won't get it for Windows 11. And like currently I'm using Windows 11, so I had to change because previously my Visual Studio Code was not working. So then I had to find out what was the problem was. So then I downloaded for Windows 11 from the original website. You can download it for any like Debian, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Fedora, SUSE, Mac OS 10.11 plus. So like you can download it according to your wish. Once it is downloaded, you have to do the setup, and now Visual Studio Code, you can simply open it up, and here our Visual Studio Code is that's ready. And then the only extension you need to download is like these all extensions I have downloaded according to my wish. However, you need to download only one extension for running Python, which is Python. Enter. So this is the like don't download the first one. Download the first one, and currently I have enabled it, installed it. I can also uninstall it, but currently I don't want to. However, you can download it, like okay, install another version. I don't want to. So like you can quickly download it. It is not that big file as well. If you have good internet connection of somewhat of 30 MB per second, as I am having with unlimited data, then it is not at all a big file. However, you can see some images for reference as well. However, I'm going to tell you how exactly this works like. So quickly we will open up a file. Let's go to my hobbies, Python programming, new folder, Python tutorials. So this is the Python tutorials. Here we are going to quickly we create like we'll first of all we'll create again a new folder for our first tutorial. We'll let it be basic syntax. So this is our first tutorial, and then this now I'll quickly open it up with Visual Studio Code. Open with code. Okay. Okay, so I have opened it up with the code. I'll create a new file. Let the name be main.py. So whenever you want to create a Python file or Python source file, so you must give p.y in the extension part. Then once that's done, so let's explore some of the basic syntax. So first of all, the most like the basic starting thing in anything is that you must know how to create variables. And even in Arduino game developing, website developing, app development, the main thing is of developing like creating variables, because before that you cannot do anything. Nothing is possible without creating variables. So some basic rules which are for Python is that you can give any letter in uppercase, lowercase, A, B, C, D, and the other thing like um, other thing is about this is that one need to know what kind of variables. Like you can't simply give dollar and write a variable name; it gives you an error. So like currently I am already enabled Python. You also need to enable Python. So then 9.7, like this is also can't be a variable name as well. So understand it properly, or you can give one is equal to, like let it give us as phi value. So you can give use numbers, but they must be with letters as well, and the number should not be previously. Like now we will write 123 kbhv, so it gives us an error. So that's not okay. What is okay is that we can't use spaces as well, like, and one, then it works, then it will give you no error. So some of the basic rules are that you can't use numbers at the starting part. If you want to use them, you need to add them at the later part. And the other thing is that you can't use any of the special signs such as not equal to, at, hashtag, dollar, percentage sign, any of the special symbols for making variables. The only two special symbols able are the underscore. You can write anything is equal to 6, let it be. So that you can use only the underscore and ampersand for this purpose. So like the let's add comments as well. So for adding comments, you must add hashtag and then add comments. So we'll write here for creating variables, one can't use special symbols. So as I told you, none of the special symbols can be used. Now let's write exception. The exception is that you can use underscore, comma. Okay, we like to need to write one more thing. Use special symbols or numbers at starting of variable. As I had shown you, one can't use them at the starting of variable, because like as I like, again I will tell you, like this is a number, then I give the variable name and let's give it a value of 9. So as you can see, it is giving an error. So this is why we can't use numbers at all at the starting. However, you can use it after the variable name. So done. Starting of variable except underscore, ampersand, and numbers after variable name. So this is what we can do. First of all, like as now we know how to create variables, let's explore some more basic syntax things. Like first, as I told you, Python is very high level, uses many like common components, very simple language, not like this is not equal to that, that is not equal to, like very simple. And indentation is really very important. Like if you give a if condition, then you need to give a semicolon, that we are going to learn in the later tutorials. First of all, today let's create a variable. As I told you, can't use any special symbol except underscore and ampersand. And numbers also we can use them only after the variable name. So I will use n1, not 1n, because it will give me an error. N1 is equal to input. So what exactly is the input is, it asks the user for an input. And then we will write enter the first number. So what happens is that whenever you give an input, then the user will be asked for an input, and the other further lines. Like if I write millions of lines after this, they won't be run until the user gives something as the input. Once the input is given, it will be just stored in the variable which we have created, which is n1. Currently, you can give it any name, as I told you, but it should adhere the rules which I have told you just now, which are those rules. If it adheres those rules, then it's good and fine. And the other thing in Python is the three basic data types, which is integer, float, and string. So whenever you want, like currently if we give an input, by default it will be in a string type. So I will also give you some examples of data types as well, so that it will be a bit clear, bit more clear to you. Like string data type will be something like this. Anything until in double quotes or single quotes. And float data type will be somewhat like this, 2 point in decimals, like numbers with decimals. And if we use only int, or better say integer, integer will be like 1 or 2 or 3. So that are the basic data types. So when we ask for an input, by default it gives us the output in string, for a string data type. But as we want a number, we want to add it, multiply it, divide it, we will add a int command. What it does is that whatever thing in the shift 90 brackets of int r, that will be converted to an integer. So be sure not to add a string in such type. Like if you add a in the n1 input part, then it gives a error. So you must add some number. Then the whatever number you have given, it will be converted to int. Similarly, we'll get another number and store it int, as we want a number. Like the data type should be number. Input, then enter a second number. Enter the second number. Done. So as I told you, what exactly input is, int is, what exactly n1 and n2 are. So basically these two are variables. Int is just to transform the string data type of whatever value we get from the input to integer value. So once we get those numbers, what we exactly want to do is that we get those numbers and then we'll print the sum to the user. So let's let the name of the variable be sum, and just for learning purposes I will add two underscore signs as well. You can add million of signs. Sum is equal to n1 plus n2, and enter, control save. Like now we will simply print it. So how exactly are we going to print it? We got the input by using the input command and adding some value. So when you are seeing here, to get an input, we use this command input and shift 90 brackets and giving it a value. Like I have added the value, enter the first number. So what exactly those values is that it helps the user to understand what we want to get as the input. So that's one thing. And int is just to convert the data type to an integer. And then we will print it. So print is again easy, print shift and 0. As I told you, it is really very easy, very easy language. Like into positive infinite easy language. Print underscore sum. Now we need to convert it to a string, because like I will tell you why. First of all, we will not write this. We'll write the sum of the number is. Now I will tell you why we need to give the string part, because now currently the sum part, as we know, the n1 is integer because we have converted the data type to int by using int command and taking the input as our parameter. And since n1 and n2 are some kind of integers, which may be -1, -2, -3, so adding them will also give an integer. This is some basic rules of mathematics. If you are not good at mathematics, please do study mathematics, because it is a brilliant subject. So first of all, we come to know about this, and the sum of the number is. So this will be in the integer format. But as I told you, anything in double quotes or single quotes will always be in a string format. So either we will have to convert this to integer, and so that sum also fits with it. But we can't do that, because converting it to int will give us an error. So we will better convert the answer to again to a string. string, and then we give underscore sum, control save. So this is our complete part of code. Hope you understood it. So now let's run the code and see how it exactly works. Like I will take it above, enter the first number. As I told you, it will ask for the input, and until we don't give the input, it will wait there only. So let's give the input as some number, enter. Enter the second number. So the second number I give it as this, enter. The sum of the numbers is 992417. So this was just a basic example how this works exactly. And you can even, like, as you saw the output was not that properly shown. We will give another to print empty statements, not exactly empty. We'll have to give two double quotes so that it doesn't give us an error. It will just give us space inside that. Like now it will ask 1, 4. The sum of the numbers is 5. So this is how exactly it is working. So I will again revise you the concepts what we learned in today's class. We learned how to create variables. So creating variables is the part of basic syntax or which one must need to know. One can't use special symbols such as not equal to sign, at, hashtag, dollar, percentage, any of the special symbols except underscore and ampersand. Even numbers are not allowed to be the variable names. Number alone can't be the variable name. Neither a number used at the starting of the variable name can be a variable name because it does not exist. So the only thing when we can use the number is that we can use it after any alphabet. The alphabet can be in uppercase, lowercase, it does not matter. And this is the one part. And then another thing is that we can use underscore and ampersand, as I said. And we also learned about three data types, which is string. String is a string data, like string is a string data, not that. But string is somewhat which is there in double quotes or single quotes, which stores some kind of data of having length greater than 1 byte. So this is a little bit high level definition, but this is the definition according to the tutorials or documentations I read while I was studying Python. Then float is a number which is like as you can see here, it is having decimal point, or even float can also have somewhat like this value, which you even see in calculators as well, which is 2e 26167. So this is also valid float value. E is nothing but when we cancel out E, we'll get something 2 into 10 to the power 167. So this is what we get when we cancel out E. So this is where the float can also be used as an integer stores an integer, which can be minus or positive in negative infinite to plus positive infinite. So that can be, that is a quite big range, but it can be only an integer. So and then we created a variable with n1 name and n2 name. We got input from the input command input, and the parameter as what we like. We know what we need the input as, but the user does not know. So when we give the input command, we also give what the user should enter. So we tell the user enter the first number, enter the second number. These are the parameters. But by default, input gives a value in string, and we don't need the value in string. We need the value in integer format so that we can add, subtract, divide, so and so, so and so, so and so. We can even give it as float as well, because float will be a bit more accurate, but currently we don't need that because in addition part, I don't think it is necessary. So int and then underscore sum underscore. So that is again a variable name, because as I'm hovering the mouse over that, it shows you. And then n1 plus n2, we are storing the value in underscore sum. Then just for the sum indentation part, I have given two empty print statements, and then the in line 12 print the sum of the number is an str sum. So like as I told you why we have given str to convert the integer value of sum into a string, because this is also a string, and when we are printing some statement in Python, the both of those things must be in the same value, or else you can give it in another print statements. But since I wanted to give them in the same print statement, I had to convert them back to string value. So like as I told you, let's remove this and I will show you again. It gives you as an error. Now I will run it, but however it is going to give us a error. Okay, it works as well, but it's not preferred to, because there are some conventions according to which we must work. So these are some conventions so that the program runs smoothly. So this is why I have given it as string value, because and so that it runs more smoothly, more properly, and I don't want any lag, not exactly lag, but there are some conventions, right? So according to that, I converted it to string so that no error occurs. So I hope you liked the project. You understood what exactly Python is, how exactly we can download the Python from Google, or you may even download Visual Studio Code as I have done. And then we need to download the Python extension as I have done right here, Python. So you can even download this Python extension, or that's like Visual Studio Code is best. You can even code Arduino, you can even code in JavaScript, everything in just one thing. So that's great. You can do everything in Visual Studio Code. So I'm using Visual Studio Code. So this is great. So you can simply code here, and then we learned how to create variables, some common data types, how to create variables, some of their rules, getting input from the user, and adding a parameter so that user understands what input do we need, adding the integers what we get the input in current command, like just I will show you a very funny thing. If at all we don't convert it to integer, then just see what happens is that it is going to be a really great experience for us. Control save. This is the last part what we are going to learn, but this is going to be great. 1 comma 3. Now enter. Do you see the sum of the numbers is 13? So like 1 plus 3 is equal to 13. Very great idea, which I actually didn't understand. The answer should be 14, but how did this exactly happen? So what happened is that when we are only giving like input, it returns as a value in string. And when we give two strings with a plus symbol, it concats or simply joins those strings, and that is stored in one string, which is in our variable sum. So that is why we had given the part int, so that it doesn't give us an error, or like currently you saw how error it gives us. So this is why I had given the part int, or else like it is your wish, but then the answers which our code will give, that is completely unexpected, very high-fi level answers. So that is why we need to give int and so things. So that was really great to know how exactly this works like. And one more thing, let's learn that as well, because like I wanted to teach you that in another part. Like let it be. So we'll create a variable with data type is equal to type. Inside the parameter will give the thing which we need to check as which data type is it. Now let's and then print it on the screen so we can also see what is data type. Control shift. Let's run it. 1 enter, 6 enter. Class in, so like as we had given a print command, it shows us what data type exactly does underscore sum is. So you can use the type and shift 90 brackets, and in that you can give the value what you want to give and check well like which data type is it. So that's really great thing, as we learned in input, changing integer into string variable and changing a string into integer. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel, and share this video to those who want to learn Python. Thank you. Bye bye.